Peace, family. It's Shot Bless. Coming to you as me, not MahMah Tea, myself. I'm going to talk to y'all. Be straight with y'all. My TikTok tribe. Just give a little background, really, of me. Why I got started on this thing. Like most of us, black people in this country, many of us are trying to find ourselves. We don't know who we are. There's a lot has been placed on us. And there's so many stories and piles that were placed on top of us. And we don't know who we are. Many spells have been casted on us, especially black women of this planet. And when I started, I used to go in and out of all of these conscious communities because I wanted to find myself. I wanted to know my story. I was a little different than most. I kept to myself. And I just always wanted to know, I had a curiosity about God, about religion, about black people. Because everywhere I went, everywhere I looked, I see that we was all treated the same. We weren't treated with the same respect and dignity as everyone else. I didn't understand that as a young one. So when I started studying, like everyone else, started in Christianity, I started reading the Bible, got saved, hang out with the Christian friends of mine. But then things just didn't sit right with my soul about that. So I was studying more and more, and I would read the Bible, and there was things I was reading in the Bible that just didn't make sense. But I was told not to question God, not to question religion. So I just had to just wear it. But it didn't fit me at all. Then as I got older, I started listening to Minister Louis Farrakhan. That sparked a little militant energy in me. And I really enjoyed listening to him. I loved the way he spoke. This eloquence that he had when speaking. And I was like, man, he really captured my attention. Then I was running around saying the black man and the black man this and the black man and that. And I'm bigging up all the black men and the black men and the black men. But there was nobody talking about us, black women. It was always like a second thought. Oh yeah, you too. You the goddess. Yeah. But it wasn't like sincere. I kept on hearing this voice in the back of my head saying, "What about y'all? What about y'all?" And I kept on going and reading and searching. And it wasn't until my first Saturn return. My Saturn is in the ninth house in Aries. So the ninth house is about philosophy and your higher mind and religious beliefs, right? Well, when I had my Saturn return, I believe it was 97, 98. It rocked me to my core. It shattered all my beliefs because I knew something was wrong. So I started searching. That's when I really started getting into astrology. Started really digging. Spirit would wake me up in the middle of the night, have me researching and studying and researching and looking. And one day it woke me up in the middle of the night. And it made me watch the documentary that was on by Dr. John Henry Clark. I think it was called The Long Walk, Long Journey. It was narrated by Wesley Snipes. And I watched that. And it changed everything. And it was one thing that stood out that he said about God. And he had nothing wrong about God being a she. And how African people had a whole different philosophy and relationship when it came to their creator. And that moved me. And that touched me because I knew that God was deep in me, and it wasn't in a book written by man saying God said. And then that's when I was introduced to the great mother herself, because I got on my knees and I started praying. I said, God, I need you to reveal the true nature of who you are. I'm confused out here. And she did. She kept leading me to articles and books and and different sites that I was watching on. This is early in the late 90s, 98, 99. And she kept on unveiling and unveiling more things. And then I wanted to tell everybody. I'm trying to share the world, everything that I found out about. Yo, it's about a woman. It's about a woman. Women is God. It's a woman. And they was looking at me like I lost my marbles. And I couldn't understand it. I think I had a breakthrough, right? During my Saturn return. I had a breakthrough and nobody wanted to care about it. Then I found my way over to the conscious community. And I was looking at them and listening to them. But it was still another form of patriarchy in that community. They weren't really giving us the justice. It was really about them self-glorifying themselves. They just changed the color of it. I just didn't feel at home in there either. You know, I started learning about the ancestors. I was always close to my family, especially my grandmother. I love my grandmother. I had a special relationship with my grandma. My mom passed away when I was 15, but I never lived with my mother. I was separated from my mother at the age of 4. And I was raised by my grandmother's sister and their family. And I've always been an outsider, always been a loner, but I always had an imagination. I always was creative. And I would talk to myself a lot. I got planetary energy in the 12th house. I got Mercury and the Sun in the 12th, actually. So I speak to myself a lot, not realizing I was talking to spirits. I was talking to my ancestors. A lot of people might be freaked out about that, but no, they've always been with me. Or your guardian angels, right? If you want to call it that. We have these things, these spirits that are around us, that protect us and guide us, right? Your ancestors are very strong and powerful in your lives. You got to trust them. You got to walk with them. You got to be with them. All this to say is, they gave me this platform. I wouldn't be able to do this without them. I came up real fast, a lot faster than most. I don't know how, I don't know why, because everything I'm saying has already been said. But I keep hearing them tell me, baby, this for you. Out of everything you've been through, you remain faithful. You remain faithful to yourself, to your ancestors, and to the God in you. You never compromise yourself for anything or anyone. Even when we were dragging you through the mud, you stayed faithful. You stayed resilient. We saw you break down and cry all the time. You wanted to give up. But every time you got to that point, we gave you a little bit to encourage you, to push you on, to push you forward. And I want to leave this with y'all. Never give up on yourself, right? You never know what your ancestors have for you. You never know the work they're putting in for you. And when they give you something, make sure you appreciate it, and you honor it, and you respect it, and you walk the path that they lay before you. Because when you veer off the path, you get distracted, you get lost, and you lose your protection. Because they're always there telling you whether it's a vibration, it's an energy, it's a frequency. You got to trust it. You got to trust when they're talking to you. You got to listen. There's many times, they've always been talking to me all my life, but I would second guess them. There's many times I went against what they told me, and I did what I wanted to do. And I got my ass whooped each and every time. I had to learn. They told me to study astrology. You need to study. That is what you need to study. And you could be good at it. And so I did. And I developed my own way of reading, my own gift at doing it. Out of everything they taught me, esoterically, exoterically, historically, spiritually, I mix it all up and I use it for me. And it works. And I began to see. And I began to understand. And then I moved away from the charts and started trusting them. And when I did that, the alignment fell perfectly. I didn't even have to go study the charts. See, I started to put astrology even before them. And I would get lost each and every time. They would warn me about things, and I would go against it. Want to go check the chart and see what if the confirmation was. And that's not the way you got to do this thing. All of these things on this planet are just tools for you to manifest your destiny. What it is that you're supposed to do, your purpose, your North Node. That's the most important thing for you to do and follow this lifetime. Because, baby, when you leave out of here, the only thing you can take with you is your soul. You can't take the body. The body stay here, but the soul goes on to your next life, wherever that may be. You have a purpose. You have a mission. And you got to know what that is. And once you do, you got to follow through with that. You got to work through. It may not even be what you think, okay? Because sometimes your soul mission is something uncomfortable that you don't really want to do. But you got to do it in order for your soul to evolve and go to the next level. That's the reason why we do what we do. It's the reason why you're here on this planet. It's to complete a mission. And there's many that try to make you fall off of that mission. And I'm telling you, I've been through that the majority of my life. You see, in sidereal astrology, my South Node is in Libra. And I've always been looking for a partner, a partnership to do things. But in this lifetime, my North Node is in Aries. So I'm supposed to take the charge and do things and follow through for myself. I'm supposed to put myself first. And for once in my lifetime, I'm finally really doing that. I'm putting myself above all else. And now I'm following through and walking in my North Node, which is my purpose. Sometimes it's hard because it gets scary being by yourself all the time. But I'm never alone because my ancestors are with me. They're with me on a galactic level. They're with me on an indigenous level. They're with me on an interdimensional level. There's no level of frequency and vibration that they don't resonate on, that I resonate with them. And you can resonate with yours too. They gave me this platform. I didn't give it to myself. They gave it to me. And they're working miracles each day because I'm touching so many people. And this is sincere. I'm real about this. I care about this. Because I know what it feels like to be lost out there. Not to have an answer. Just to question even your own mindset, your own thoughts. I know what that feels like, y'all. So I'm sharing my gifts, my talents, my creativity, my knowledge, my wisdom with you because you are not alone. I've been alone, trying to fit into other people's tribe while they treat me like an outcast. I hear folks talking about me now. They've always talked about me, and it used to bother me. Now I just smile at it because the only talk I need to hear is from my ancestors. They got me, just like they got you. Trust that. That bloodline you got in you is thick. Your blood type is even thicker. What's your blood type? Well, it's from those who really created you, who you really came from. That's your tribe, is your blood type. Your O's, your A's, your B's, your A's and B's. That's really your soul tribe right there. And you know that blood type cross all colors. So it's really not about color. Even though the original blood type has the majority of my people, but we got other people that carry that bloodline too. You know what I'm saying? That blood type too. See, we can give to everybody. We can give this sacred blood to everybody. But we can't receive everybody's blood. And that means something. So walk in your power. Walk in your strength. Get to know who you are. Snap yourself out the spell. Just like I had to do for me. I had to trust. Trust your ancestors. Trust your spirit guides. because they'll always lead you to the right path. Always use discernment and stay on the path that your ancestors have laid before you. All right, y'all. God bless. I love y'all. Peace.
Pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me. I said, pay me.
My way to go.
Pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me.
My way to go.
I said, pay me, pay me, pay me.
My weight in God. Black people are indigenous to the earth. Black people are indigenous to the earth. Baby, we already been here. We already been here on this our planet. This is our planet. Where the ships at? Where the ships at?
Pay me,
my weight in God.
MahMah Teas, t-shirts and accessories. Link in bio. And if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe and support Mama. Y'all be good. Bye now.